Iron Skillet back with another side dish. Side dish Sundays, every Sunday, whenever we can. Today I wanted to talk about dedication to the grind and focusing on pushing to get better at whatever it is you're doing, whether it's music or art or just being a better person in general. You know, you gotta dedicate yourself to that, and it's a lot in the mind and the focus on that. Couple of the things to dedicate, you know, one of them being time. Sometimes you got to sacrifice some free time in order to put time into what is important to you. Some of that could be, you know, practicing or even like research, like we've discussed in the past. You know, sometimes you just got to learn more about whatever it is you're doing, or steps you need to take to get better at whatever it is. In our case, music or podcast, or hell, we do a lot. Logue said a line one time, and I've dissected in my mind, you know, so many different ways. I'm trying to think of what song it was. I think it was Wow. It might have been Wow. You'll probably recognize it. He said, something, want to win, got to lose your friends. And, you know, somebody just listened to be like, why do my friends got to die? Mm-hmm. But I don't think he meant it like that, or maybe he did. I'm not sure how he meant it, but the way I took it was sometimes you got to sacrifice that time with them. Want to win, got to lose your friends. Maybe their focus is in a different direction, and you know, you spending time in that circle of friends is hindering you from your grind and your dream. So, you know, sacrificing that time, you know, maybe you do got to lose some friends to get ahead over here in this aspect. So I thought that was a really cool line that Logue had. Another aspect of dedication would be sleep. I know Gary Vee talks about this a lot, is, you know, getting up early and staying up late and, you know, putting in that extra work for whatever it is.
I think that's definitely something I want to elaborate on, because I feel like
Go for it.
There's two ways that people can take this the wrong way. I think that we all know that like you need to sleep to be able to perform at your highest level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But sometimes people take this like hustle as an excuse to just like really put themselves in an unhealthy situation with their rest, and that's when you're like halfway getting stuff done, or the stuff that you're doing is coming out halfway. So I feel like that's an important thing to figure out, a balance. And there's probably the seasons. There's seasons where you have to really go hard and you might have to sleep less, but that can't be your whole entire life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And if you're sacrificing sleep, you definitely have to make sure you're picking up and taking care of yourself in all these other areas, or it's just not gonna turn out well.
It's a lot of adaptation in that. I mean, obviously, you're not going to just one night be like, all right, I'm getting 3 hours of sleep tonight, and I'm going to keep grinding. Like, it's kind of like a gradual thing.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Right. I've been so used to, you know, when I was like 18 to 21, I would sleep for literally 10 hours. Like, I'm not, Yellow will tell you, he knows not to wake me up before 1. And then, you know, even here recently, like, I've been, you know, 5, 6 hours just, we're in here till, you know, 10, 11, 12, and get home, and then I'm up at 6, 7 in the mornings, you know, so grinding. Sometimes you got to lose sleep, but like Shah said, you know, got to be healthy, and definitely don't want to sacrifice all that, the health in your life. Another thing with dedication would be money and unnecessary spending. You know, I like Jordans. I like shoes. I got a lot of retros, but sometimes maybe I need to hold that $100 or $200 and put it into whatever it is. Like last month, we invested in a whole PA system for our show. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, now I ain't getting these shoes. Let me just throw this $300-$400 over here.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, you got to watch your spending and, you know, put money into the grind, because that gets you farther.
I definitely have a story about that.
Get them.
I wanted a song on streaming platforms. I knew I had to make it happen. I knew that the only way that I was going to actually start to build myself as an artist was if I started getting my music on streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. So I knew I needed to buy exclusive rights to a beat. And there's a song, I waited until I had a song where I was like, this is one of the best songs I've ever written. and I had to sell every single pair of Jordans that I owned to buy the exclusive rights to that beat, and that is the first song that I ever had up on
That's dedication.
streaming platforms.
Lately?
No, 10 years.
Ah, that's right, 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to literally. I mean, and that was not hard. I had been collecting those shoes since we were in high school.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, I was like, I don't wear them anymore because of my job. I can't wear them at work, and I don't really wear them out in everyday life. So it's like, if they're just sitting here, might as well put it towards something positive. So definitely, you know, you got to think about investing and what's important, and definitely move your money in a way that's going to push you forward.
Investing and having that mindset to be able to let go of those things and say, hey, it's better off me putting this money here into the grind.
For sure.
Aside from time, sleep, and money, I have a story of dedication to the grind, and this is about my dad. So I think this happened when I was somewhere between, I don't know, 5 and 10. It was probably around 5, but anyways. So my dad plays music. He's in a rock band. He's lead guitar, so, you know, strumming. He also, for his day job, he hung drywall, so he's swinging a hammer. He got in a bad car accident. Wow. He got in a bad car accident, and it messed up his hand pretty bad. So the doctor was like, all right, when I fix it, you're not going to be able to move your finger. I believe it was his pointer. Yeah, because he can move the rest of his hand, but it's his pointer finger. He's like, when I fix it, it's going to be stuck the way it is. He's like, okay, well, if that's the case, I need to be able to play guitar, and I still need to be able to swing the hammer. So when you fix it, make sure it's bent so I can still grip the hammer and I can still grip a pick. That's dedication right there.
Oh, God, yeah.
Knowing, like, all right, my finger's about to be stuck, so it's either straight or it's bent. So literally my dad's finger is stuck like this.
No matter what.
And what's really cool is on their first like official CD release, they put out a cassette back in the day, but they re-released it as a CD. On the cover, it's a peace sign, and the peace sign is like this.
Because it's that way.
Because of his finger, they bent the pointer finger on it. So I thought that was really cool. And that's dedication to the grind right there, knowing, all right, I need to support my family, and I still want to do music. I messed up, got in this car accident, and this is the way I got to fix it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I thought that was a deep story.
Oh, that's literally a game changer. That's amazing that your dad did that.
Crazy.
One of the best, and this wasn't something. This was someone that spoke to my class when we were in grad school. So like, that's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life was getting my master's degree. And when you go into the program, the first thing they tell you is that not all of you all are going to make it to graduation. They like scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh my God.
Probably for good reasons though.
Yeah, because it is hard. You know what I mean? And if you're not really about it, you're not gonna make it. You know. And the first summer is the hardest of the entire program. So like we're like a couple weeks into the first summer, and this guy comes in to give a guest lecture, and the first thing he does is he's like, it's your first summer at grad school, right? And we're like, yeah. He's like, he draws a line on the whiteboard like this. He said, this line is your whole life. And he makes the smallest mark. And he's like, this piece is this summer. And he was like, you need to sacrifice everything in this little piece of time so that you can have a career doing something that you love. And the rest of this, and he literally shaded out the rest of the line. He's like, you can be happy and you can spend your time working, doing something you care about. He's like, but if you don't take it seriously and you don't make all the sacrifices you need and put all of your time and energy into this right now, the rest of this, there's no guarantee what it could look like. And it was some of the best advice I ever got. And you can, I've like learned to apply that to anything that I care about. Like I realized like if I want to get healthy, that means that's got to be my priority. And that's got to be the first thing that I, have in my mind. So I might not be at the studio late. I might not be doing A, B, and C because right now I'm trying to get healthy, and that's my priority. And that's really helped me figure out how to like reach goals better. Is to understand like if this is what I'm trying to work towards, then all my energy needs to be put towards that. And I need to figure out what my life looks like to be able to reach that goal. You know what I mean?
Putting it into that type of perspective and you actually seeing, like you said, he drew the line and then he made the mark. And like, I think that visual And then, of course, him like scaring you, like, look, you really need to sacrifice and buckle down because this is, this is the time.
Yeah.
I think seeing that and visually, like, I don't know, that definitely would, whip me into shape.
Right.
Like, all right, bet I need to buckle down.
I was like, this summer, no fun. All
Yeah.
school. Had index cards with me everywhere I went. My family hated it. We'd go to dinner and I have anatomy index cards. I'm just flipping them. They're like, I'm about to burn those cards. I'm like, you better not touch my index cards.
If you care about anything. in this
Yeah,
world.
exactly. So, got to be dedicated if you want to achieve something that not many people have achieved, for sure.
And Trav sacrifices a lot for us. He sacrifices time. I know whenever I ask him for something, he's always going out of his way for us, and we always appreciate that.
That's all we got is time.
I mean, I guess that's all we got until the time's up.
I was just trying to be wise and
Yeah.
say something like, I don't know.
Drop some knowledge.
Trav sacrifices a lot, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, staying focused, dedication to the grind. Sometimes you got to sacrifice some time, some sleep, some money, or even a finger.
Yeah. Gotta make it
Amen.
happen. Amen.
Amen. Iron skillet, side dishes, big whoop.